From your local source, WCJB TV 20. This is TV 20 News 530 Live.
After almost 20 years coaching with the University of Florida, the Gator Nation saying goodbye to Billy Donovan. Good evening. The head coach is moving up to the NBA, taking a position with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
The sports director Adam Solomon joins us now. Adam, another top-of-the-line coach at UF is leaving.
It's wild. First Rhonda Fain, now Billy Donovan. Now, we heard rumors last night that it was a done deal from some people back then, but our source, who is a real source, not a friend of Billy's cousin's brother or anything like that, our source confirmed that today things were actually made official. Then at about 2:30 p.m. today, the University of Florida released their statement confirming that Billy Donovan is out of Florida after 19 seasons. Now, Billy's first win as a Gator head coach came back in 1996, an 80-63 win against UCF. 19 years, 2 national titles, and 6 SEC regular season championships later. And Billy was quoted today as saying, "The administrative support and stability has been unbelievable here, and it was an incredibly difficult decision to leave. I knew that it would take a unique opportunity to leave the University of Florida. And that is clearly how I look at this situation," end quote. And right now, we're going to turn it over to TV 20's Nico Clemens, who joins us live from the O-Dome with some quotes and reaction from Gator Nation. Nico.
Yeah, Adam, once the news broke about Billy Donovan, social media blew up. The news spread very quickly around Gainesville. I spoke to people literally minutes after the announcement was made, and as expected, there were some mixed reviews. Some people wanted him to stay. Some people saying the NBA, especially the move to Oklahoma City, is a good fit for him. Donovan coached the Florida Gators for 19 seasons. He won 2 national championships. Now fans wonder about the future of Florida athletics.
The biggest thing for them is they still have the consistent factor up there. They still have Foley up there making all the decisions. So, he's done so well with all of his other decisions for the most part. I think he's going to be able to keep it going.
According to Yahoo Sports, Donovan signed a 5-year deal to coach the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, coming up tonight at 6, I'll talk to more fans on who they think will replace Donovan. Right now, I'm live at the O-Dome. Nico Clemens, TV 20 News.
And we'll also have more on the next chapter of Billy Donovan's career coming up tonight at 6.
Let's take a first look at the weather now. We certainly have some Gator blue skies out there today.
It was a great day to go for a run this morning, Bill, because the clouds were in and kept things cool. But then, as Paige just said, the sun came out and made it pretty.
Yeah, it's been a very nice afternoon. Humidity low, temperatures struggling to get through the 70s this afternoon. And we're going to see that again for tomorrow with even more sunshine in our future. And we'll even cool off a bit more as we head overnight tonight. 77 degrees right now at the Gainesville Region Airport. Winds out of the west-northwest at 6, so just a light breeze and humidity all the way down to 42% all across the region, generally in the upper 70s. No 80 degrees mark yet. 77 Lake City, Cross City, Gainesville, Ocala, 72 over at Cedar Key, and 77 Daytona Beach. So even the coastline staying in the mid to upper 70s this afternoon. Look at the storm vision. Well, it's been very quiet this afternoon. We do have a couple of areas of smoke. Smoke plumes back up to parts of Clay County and St. Johns County, but that's all we have on the radar for this afternoon. Looking at the North Central Florida satellite, the clouds were with us for a good part of the morning when you were up for your run, Dave, and after that, just some partly cloudy skies. Now, mostly upper-level clouds coming in from the south and the west. We'll see those clear out later tonight, and that'll cool things off. But a nice evening out there, 74 by 6 p.m., 70 by 8 p.m. At 62 degrees, a quick cool-off here, but how chilly will it get as we head overnight? More on that in your forecast in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Bill. Time to check our rush hour traffic situation on this Thursday.
Bob Albert joins us with our traffic team update. How does it look, Bob?
Well, we look pretty good along I-75 anyway. On the interstates, looking pretty good. Hi, Paige. David, this sports party is courtesy of Allen Law Firm. Now, we are seeing a couple of problem areas. If you're traveling to Citra, be careful. Hit and run crash reported in Marion County, just off US 301 at Northeast 19th Terrace. We do have a crash and injuries. Vehicles in the roadway in Gainesville, Northeast 119th Terrace. That's just off State Road 26. If you're heading in that direction, use caution. Emergency crews are continuing to arrive. Bob Albert, that's your WCJB TV 20 traffic team report.
State troopers tell us a woman is dead after a head-on collision last night in Alachua County. A mother and her children also in that same crash are now in the hospital. The Florida Highway Patrol reports it happened around 10 o'clock last night at Hawthorne on US 301 at Southeast 138th Place. When emergency crews arrived, 65-year-old Margaret Welter from Melrose was pronounced dead. 27-year-old Casey Faircloth and her young son and daughter were transported by air with serious injuries to UF Health Shands, where they are still being treated. David?
Paige, there's another delay in the Boston Marathon bombing trial. Tonight in Covering America, testimony in the penalty phase was suspended for today because one of the jurors is sick. Johar Tsarnaev was convicted this month on all 30 charges against him, including 17 that carry the possibility of the death penalty. Testimony yesterday largely focused on what he was like as a child. Just hours into his Democratic bid for president, Senator Bernie Sanders says questions about the Clinton Foundation's activities are fair game. The senator from Vermont also noted today that Hillary Rodham Clinton still has not taken a position on contentious trade legislation or on the proposed Keystone XL pipeline. Baltimore police have completed the criminal investigation into the death of Freddie Gray. That report is now in the hands of the state attorney's office. It's now up to prosecutors to decide how to move forward in Gray's case. The 25-year-old was stopped by police April 12th and suffered spinal injuries while in custody, dying a week later. Baltimore's commissioner promises the investigation will go on if new evidence is found.
Now to the latest developments out of Nepal following the devastating earthquake. Rescuers are still searching through rubble. ABC's Karen Travers reports some miracle rescues are happening, but thousands are dead.
An incredible scene in Nepal's capital of Kathmandu. Cheers rang out amid the rubble and despair. Nepalese and American emergency crews pulled out a 15-year-old boy who'd been trapped in this collapsed 9-story building for 5 days. Searchers heard a voice amid the debris. Teams from Fairfax, Virginia and Los Angeles worked with local crews to locate the boy and pull him to safety.
And I assured him that we are here to rescue you. Please, you don't worry and be safe and calm. Be confident, we'll rescue you.
Huge cheers as the young boy was carried away from the rubble.
He was quite well.
Yeah, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. It comes down to that.
ABC News' Alex Marquardt was on the scene for this amazing discovery.
He was wedged in this hole right next to this motorcycle, a tiny, dark space, smaller than a coffin, for more than 140 hours.
We also learned today of another remarkable rescue. This baby boy pulled out of the rubble on Sunday after 22 hours. Officials fear as many as 10,000 people are dead. The U.S. Embassy says a number of Americans are still unaccounted for. ABC News spoke to 2 Americans who were on a climbing trip at Mount Everest when the quake hit.
We both feel, very fortunate that neither one of us was hurt in the earthquake or anyone in our group.
There have been more than 70 aftershocks since Saturday's quake. Supplies are starting to reach the hardest hit areas, but there are still major shortages of food and water. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
German security officials say they have stopped what they believe were plans for a Boston Marathon-style attack after raiding the home of a suspected Islamic extremist tonight and covering the world. Inside, officials found a pipe bomb, 100 rounds of ammunition, parts of an assault rifle, and a chemical that can be used to build a bomb. A 35-year-old Turkish-German man and his 34-year-old Turkish wife have been arrested. A bizarre incident in Jerusalem. A woman set a gas pump on fire after a driver reportedly refused to give her a cigarette. The man quickly pulls the nozzle out before running for cover. The suspect was arrested shortly after the incident. No one was injured. And a Pakistani court has sentenced 10 militants to life in prison for their involvement in the 2012 attack on teenage activist Malala Yousafzai. She was shot in the head by the Pakistani Taliban for advocating education for women.
We're hearing more testimony in the Aurora Theater shooting trial next year on 5:30 Live. What first responders are saying about the moment James Holmes was arrested.
And a mother's protesting a note sent from her daughter's preschool regarding her snack choices. We'll see what it has to do with a cookie when we come back.